You know, some folks thought I was unfair to the Henry 8001 TV and 17 HMR in my last video. I don't think so. I'll explain it if you'll stick around. Hi, George here, and welcome to Tales from Target Suite, where I'll share my perspective on guns and shooting, and we'll have an adventure or two that will make even a grown man smile. And the adventure today is answering the question, was I unfair in my last video where I compared the 17 HMR and the 22 WMR, the 17 Hornady Magnum rimfire and the 22 Winchester Magnum rimfire. The premise of that video was which cartridge would be best for close-up work against nest predators, large nest predators like raccoons, and I came to the conclusion, because of the heavier bullet and higher energy of the 22 Magnum rimfire, the 22 Winchester Magnum rimfire, that that was the right choice for that work, and I stand by that. But I did have a guy in the comments ask me, why didn't you test the 20 grain bullet, the 20 grain 17 HMR, instead of just the 17 grain 17 HMR rounds? And the answer back then, I couldn't find any. But since then I have found some, and that's what this video is going to be about, is will the 17 HMR bridge the gap into those larger nest predators, and is it accurate? And we'll answer those questions with some shots on steel here. I'm standing at 100 yards from where I introduced the video. I've got targets down here at 130 roughly and 150 roughly, and we'll see what kind of accuracy we get with that 20 grain bullet. And then we're going to put a couple of shots here in the ballistic gel, and we'll recover those bullets. We'll check them for expansion, for weight retention, and I will tell you and share some shots that I took earlier, the aftermath of shots I took earlier shooting at close range with that 20 grain bullet. And I was surprised, so stick around for that. Now, I've only got one camera. I've had a mysterious virus, probably from across the Pacific, and I was really down for a couple of weeks, and came over here last week still feeling a little rough, and left all of my video equipment back in Houston. So I'm dealing with one camera and one camera only. So we're going to leave it where it is right now. I'm going to hoof it back to the shooting bench, and I'm going to put some shots on steel. We'll talk a little bit in the background, and then we'll shoot that ballistic gel. So short and simple today. If I can quit yakking, let's get started. All right, well, those first opening shots there on that 8-inch plate at, that was about 110 yards. That wasn't a very good group, and I'll just blame myself for that. But let's take a look at those shots down range a little bit. And by the way, I'll give you a close-up look here at the Henry now, and I've got an interesting scope on there. That is a vintage 3x9 Weaver made in El Paso. And very nice scope. I had it refurbished by Vintage Gun Scopes, and they did a great job with it. But 3-shot group right here, and that is right at 1.5 inches at about 130 yards. That's pretty darn good accuracy for a lever gun. Now let's take a look at this 3-shot group, and this is at 150 yards. Hope you can see that, but there's 1, 2, 3 shots, and I'm going to say that is right at 2 inches at 150 yards. So nice Nice performance out of the Henry 8001 TV in caliber 17 HMR. So let's answer the big question right away about the short range performance, because if you remember in the ballistic gel test from that previous video, by the way, here's a link right here, and I'll also put a link in the description, but the 10 and 15 yard expansion with the 17 grain bullets was very dramatic, but it was too explosive, too shallow, and the penetration was not deep enough. And so let's take a look at what I found with this 20 grain bullet from Hornady. So that's 8 inches of penetration. Oh man, 19 grains remaining out of 20 grains. So there was almost no loss of mass with those bullets, with that bullet at close range. So that begs the question, would it be good enough for raccoons? And I would say this, it would be way better than the 17 grain. So I'll just leave it at that. But now let's take a close look at the ballistic gel expansion with the 20 grain bullet at 100 yards. That's interesting. I got a full pass through with one of those bullets, and you actually saw the dent in the cinder block there. And I got 12 inches of penetration, about 4 inches less than full penetration. And there's that bullet, and it barely got any expansion. So the downside to the 20 inch is that I would say at about 100 yards and beyond, you're going to get little or no penetration. And the fact that this bullet, this second bullet that I shot, went all the way through and impacted the cinder block is a good indication that that one was not expanding either. Because at close range, we only got 8 inches of penetration and full expansion, beautiful mushroom, fantastic cartridge, I would say, or fantastic bullet for, pick a number, but I'd say 75 yards or less, you're going to get a pretty good expansion with that 20 grain bullet. So we've got more work to do with the 17 HMR. We need to find out what kind of expansion we would get with those 17 grain bullets down here at 100 or 150 yards. But thanks for watching. My goodness, it's been a while, and it's good to be feeling better. Man, so much has happened. I spent 2 days, or 2 days ago, I spent hours on the tractor raking all of the bare dirt. I planted seeds, and I needed to get those seeds raked in. Then today I had the parish out. They were actually doing road work, and so I had put in a culvert. Spent most of the day today working with the parish on getting a culvert in up at the house. So lots going on here at the farm, and excuse after excuse, but it's been hard to get videos out. So stay with me. We've got lots of content still up our sleeves, and I hope the next video finds me with more video equipment than this one. But thanks for watching. I appreciate all of you guys, especially those that stick around this late in the video. And I really do appreciate it. I appreciate my patrons. I don't say that enough. But gosh, I'm just thankful. What can I say? A great group of guys and girls that follow me here on Target Suite. So I hope it answered the question. Was I unfair? No, I wasn't unfair for the application, but would the 20 grain do well? It probably would do a decent job with raccoons at close range, but I'm happy with the 22 Magnums, and I have both. And so I will relegate the 17 HMR to other stuff besides nest predators at close range. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.